Hey everybody, Ben for the Manor House Bus Team, talking to you from my wife's new car, from the Sinclair car this time. She deserves it. It's a nice car. It's a used car, but it's new to her and she really appreciates it. But we're talking about the Good Samaritan today. But first I want to include a story about something that happened to me when I was about 16, 17 years old. It was Thanksgiving. It was cold and a rainy day in Portland. And we didn't have any heat in our house. Hadn't had heat for a while. We didn't have food and we didn't know what to do. And we were just huddling around this wood stove trying to stay warm, trying to figure out what to do for Thanksgiving or with our time. And there was a knock on the door. And it turns out it was a friend of mine named Herman Gartner that I worked out at the gym with, and he was kind of a father figure to me, or he really was. And he had just kind of picked up on what we were going through, and he just brought a box of food and left it with us. And we were just blown away that somebody would think of us like that. And that's why I want to give Herman a Good Sammy Award sticker for Herm for doing that for us. We really appreciate it. Now, the story that's in the Bible. In Luke chapter 10, verse 25, there's this great exchange between this religious man and Jesus concerning who is our neighbor. Okay, it starts with, just then, a religious scholar stood up with a question to test Jesus. Teacher, what do I need to do to get eternal life? This is how it starts. Jesus answered, what's written in God's law? How do you interpret it? Because these guys knew the answers before they even asked. Well, he said that you love the Lord your God with all your passion and prayer and muscle and intelligence, and that you love your neighbor as you do yourself. This was one of the commandments that he was repeating back to Jesus. Well, Jesus said, good answer. Do it and you will live. Looking for a loophole. Why would he look for a loophole? He asked, just how would you define neighbor? Well, Jesus answered by telling a story. There was once a man traveling from Jerusalem to Jericho. On the way, he was attacked by robbers. They took his clothes, beat him up, and went off, leaving him half dead. Hey, now let's get back to the story. Mankind versus Undertaker. That was a beating, but I wanted to give you an idea of what it must have been like, because this guy was really beat up and he was left for dead, seriously injured by what happened to him on the road to Jericho. And by the way, that road to Jericho, that's the same road we talked about when we talked about the story of Ruth. But those two stories happened 1,200 years apart. So apparently that road hadn't improved a whole lot as far as safety. It was still a dangerous place to go. But a priest who was on his way down that same road and seeing the injured man saw him and angled across to the other side. Then a Levite religious man showed up. He also avoided the injured man. But a Samaritan traveling the road came on him. When he saw the man's condition, his heart went out to him. He gave him first aid, disinfecting and bandaging his wounds. Then he lifted him onto his donkey, led him to an inn, and made him comfortable. In the morning, he took out 2 silver coins and gave them to the innkeeper, saying, take good care of him. If it cost any more, put it on my bill. I'll pay you on my way back. What do you think? Which of these three became a neighbor to the man attacked by the robbers? The religious scholar responded, well, the one who treated him kindly, of course. And Jesus said, go and do the same. Well, let's wrap this story up. I think that's a great story. But you know, there's something about being a good neighbor, doing good things to people. That's not everything. I think there's a lot more about this story that tells us about the heart of God, because the scholar was exactly right. He said, hey, you must love the Lord your God with all your heart, your mind, your muscle, and your intelligence, everything you've got. And then love your neighbor as yourself. What that tells me is that you go to God first, get it right with him, love him, and then love your neighbor. Well, doing it the other way around, doing good works to please God or impress him, that's like wearing all of the Good Sammy stickers all at once. Look at this. I'm going to put them all on all at once. All the Good Sammy stickers all at once. That looks ridiculous. That's not how you please God. God isn't impressed with that. He just wants us to love him, and he wants to love us. And so, when we do good things for other people, he's pleased, because he's part of it. And that's the whole message. And now, we're going to turn it over to Cassidy.
There was a man just minding his business. He got attacked, and nobody witnessed it. What a tragedy. A priest walked by, but he was too busy. A Levite came too, but he walked past on the other side. Are you kidding me? helps out. Let's be the kind of people who really care beyond word of mouth. 'Cause Good Sammy came along and helped him bandage his wounds, put him on a donkey, took him to an inn. He paid for everything, 'cause action's where real love begins. Hey guys, so that's the video for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. The whole point of the story of the Good Samaritan is just that, you know, we can talk, we can say all the right things, we can articulate all the right thoughts, but at the end of the day, if we don't live it out and look after other people's practical needs and just be on the lookout for each other, then it doesn't mean much at the end of the day. When you love somebody, you're concerned about their needs and you want to be there to support them. Obviously, we can't be God and we can't fulfill all of one person's needs, but when you love someone, you do try to show that. So, I don't know, maybe just a challenge for you guys and myself is just to think of little practical things that you can do to impact somebody this week, or feed them, or I don't know. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great week, and we will see you next time.